I've made some updates to the UI. I've been going through a whole bunch of iterative cycles, and so I just wanted to record kind of a midway point because there's probably going to be further, other things. But I have reached a little bit of a plateau on the UI, and so I was typing in like this, so I could see the hand and the character. And this was, working good, helping me learn kind of the key, how to operate the keys, like position of the hand and a few things like that. I get a little bit of understanding of just the mechanics of it. But then I'm trying to do time trials here, and it was, so I was getting below 40 seconds for this phrase right here, which takes me about 10 seconds to type on a regular keyboard. Not like super rush typing on a regular keyboard, but just, I just took one or two cracks at it, and it was about 10 or 12 seconds. So that's taking, I think my fastest time was 38 seconds on the Handex. So, but I'm reading each chord, it's not one-to-one because I don't know the phrase I'm going to type. Like when I'm typing it on my keyboard, I already know the first word, and then I kind of have to go, okay, what's the next word? But I know all the characters for the first word, and my fingers just fly over the keyboard typing them in. So, I'm trying to estimate what is this going to look like once I know all the keys. And when I'm looking at these key glyphs, they're very helpful to learn the key, super helpful. I'm so much better now that I've created these glyphs and, to kind of help me type it out rather than the 3-character chord string things that I had before. This is way better. But as I'm looking at the glyph, it takes like a significant mental effort to go, okay, what character was that I just typed in? And so I made the character bigger and bigger over here, on the left, on the next chord, this one at the top here. But I still have to think, what did I just type in? And I'm going down here to the spelled out chord. That helps me look ahead. That's awesome. So that's a lot of improvements that kind of speed up the typing in. But then I realize I'm really not going to, I'm going to be at a plateau of speed until I can see the character, like the capital S, and and translate that into character stroke myself, in my mind without the image. So I thought, yeah, I need to memorize these characters. Well, plus, so one of the detours was I realized I want to use this with Vim down the road, and Vim characters, the home row keys are the easiest ones to type. So I thought I really need to go back and make my QWERTY home row keys easy to type, like they're used in Vim. ASDF, JKL, semicolon, and the ones near that, so I went back and I refactored this, the chord mapping, the code page for this, the where the characters are on the keyboard, which chord actuates which character. I remapped it to be more QWERTY like so that it would work with Vim better. And when I did that, I came back to this here, and I found it like it slowed me down like 50%. Like, even though I am just typing from the glyph and I haven't memorized the keys, just using different keystrokes threw me off enough where I was using keystrokes that I hadn't been using for this phrase, and it was enough to slow me down a bit. So I did retain a lot of like glyph reading, uh, habit, or automatization. Where I had kind of automatized that little pipeline of reading the glyph and turning it into finger strokes, but there's still some time consuming there. It's taken a few CPU cycles in my brain, So so that that kind of indicated to me that I'm not going to get the speed improvements until I myself have the whole, see a character, turn it into keystrokes memorized in my mind. Like reading the glyphs is way better. Super happy I have that. It's very motivational too, because things were seeming slow and stuff, and now they're really picking up. And with these glyphs, and so now I've come back here and I added, and this kind of surprised me. Like, I thought of this and I was able to add it in like a few minutes. So I just attached this to local storage. These toggle switches are easier than last time I used them a few years ago, when I was doing front-end development. It's just like way easier. I attach it to local storage, and then what I do now is when I do this, it doesn't show me the glyph, and so I can type the letter, and it just goes to the next one, so it works like it did before. But when I goof up and I type the wrong thing, it goes red and it shows me the glyph in the next key, right? So this is a way of a very tight REPL, a very tight loop. I can, I forgot to even read that glyph, but I think it's this, okay? Because I've been memorizing some of the keys now. So just from doing this, just from adding this test mode here, I am now able to, like, super quickly, I mean, not like I'm quick, but the loop is quick, where I'm totally goofing these up, but my test loop is super tight, where if I type the right thing, I just go back a space, I can't see it. So I could do it again and go, okay, that's what it is, kind of memorize it, go back. But a lot of times it's because I just mistype, I fumble fingered it. But I've just did this yesterday, and already I'm just memorizing a bunch of characters, and these are the new characters on the new mapping for the QWERTY, more Vim capable one. So my hope, or my intention, is that I'm going to train on these, memorize the keys, and I mean, I've had this for half a day, just the latter half of yesterday, and actually I was tweaking it until like midnight last night, because I was killing I killed the reset. I kind of a couple of things. It was very super simple to add the test mode button, and to clear out the glyphs and everything. But keeping the red thing, it's pretty interesting, like what is the logic I'm going to apply to make this, to make this one on the bottom red and to show the glyph. And I couldn't figure out the logic. I couldn't even specify, like write out the thing. I got a little frustrated and I go, I'm just going to use it just with test mode. I just put the button in there in the local storage, and then I came back to use it. And I started using it. I go, wait a second. Every time I run into the problem, I was already turning this text area red. And I go, well, just put this and the glyph unhider in the exact same code condition where that turns this box red. And it was that simple. I just put that in there, and it started working. There was a few things like it. I goofed up I made the reset button not work. There's a couple little things that took me clean up until late yesterday, looping back, testing it more and seeing, oops, it doesn't finish right, or it doesn't reset right. So, but nonetheless, this is a huge improvement for me, and I kind of just wanted to commemorate this moment. Oh, look at that. So I still, something is wrong there. Little things like how did I get that red B over there? So I think I have to reset all of them each time in case of weird key things that I do. Like if I go to the end and then go back to the beginning, it doesn't reset the right one. So I'll just do a complete refresh of the borders there. So this is just an update. I just wanted to kind of commemorate my own process, so I'll be able to look back at this and see the many steps over this last month of improvements to this UI. And that's all. There's more. I also put a blog. I'll leave a link in the description to some of the updates, and all the code for this is the Handex.io static website. So you can see like all the code changes. Not that that's very interesting, but if there's anything helpful in this little UI, it's in that it's in the Handex.io open source on GitHub static website. Check it out.